Yes, sir.
We're going to shift gears just a little bit. I have a heavy heart today. Last Sunday, I was asked if I would say something at the funeral, and my first instinct was no. And then after the service, the person who asked me, I pulled him off to the side and said, I'll say something, but you may not like what I want to say.
Yeah.
True.
And he said, well, say it anyway.
Say what's on your heart.
Yeah.
I told Pastor Wilson I may need a bodyguard when I get done.
Yeah. Oh, brother.
You got it. That's it.
And Pastor Core, I expect you to clean up my mess, okay? All right, you're the man to clean up my mess. I've got permission to say this, and I say it with love. I want to speak the truth in love. Over the last 5 months, I've gotten 5 phone calls where young people have OD'd because of drugs laced with fentanyl.
Come on, Reverend.
Yeah.
Talk to us.
I am sick and tired
Yeah.
of those phone calls.
Yeah.
We have got to do something about this.
Yeah.
I am tired of seeing young people,
Yeah.
All right.
lives cut short because of a mistake.
Yeah.
I'm tired of it.
Yeah.
In preparation for this, I did a little bit of research and made a phone call with some people who know some things, and I found this out. In Franklin, I know this wasn't in Franklin, but in Franklin alone, in 2019, there were 52 overdoses.
Yeah.
That's 1 per week.
Yeah.
1 per week.
All right.
Not all of them resulted in death, but a number of them did. And of that 52, 30 of those were people between the ages of 18 and 35.
Yeah. My Lord.
30 of the 52. Of that 52, 34 of them were overdoses of heroin, fentanyl, and cocaine.
Yeah. My Lord.
That's where we live. I'm a pastor who is in this community on these streets every day.
Yeah.
And I see it firsthand. And I am tired of it. We have got to do something, church, and that's where it starts, in the church.
All right.
Yeah.
It's not anybody else's responsibility but the church to stand up and say, enough is enough. We want to take our streets back. We want to take our children back and not let this keep happening.
Talk, praise him.
Enough.
Yeah.
So here's how you honor the life of Zierra. First, you get clean yourself. Don't be the next one.
All right.
Get clean yourself. Help others get clean. Make up your mind that this is not going to be anymore. Now, I don't know what I'm going to do, but for a few months now, I've been thinking, how in the world can we pull the community together and do something? I don't know if you know who I am, but I screamed for years about homelessness, and we're on our way to having a permanent homeless shelter. I screamed for years about racism, and we've done something to address that on the square with the Confederate soldier. I'm telling you now, I am screaming about this.
Yeah.
We have got to come together and change this.
You're right about it.
Yeah.
We have got to.
Amen.
We got to quit selling and quit buying. Put some people out of business who are selling this junk to our young people.
Yeah.
We got to do it. I'm tired of it. Jesus said, you are the salt of the earth.
That's it.
Right.
Sometimes we don't quite understand what he means by that. And we jump really quickly to saying the salt preserves and the salt protects from destruction and all of that kind of stuff. And it does, but that's not the salt Jesus was talking about. That's a chemical compound we use. But the salt Jesus was talking about was a weapon that was used in warfare. You would go in and you would put salt on the fields of your enemy.
Yeah.
So that it would kill the crop, and so that crop could not grow anymore. That's what the salt did. Salt was so valuable that Roman soldiers were paid in salt, and that's where our word salary comes from.
Yeah.
And so the invading army would go and pour salt on the fields of the enemy so that the crops could not grow anymore. And when the salt lost its saltiness, it was gathered up as gravel and placed on roads.
Yeah.
All right.
And so when Jesus said, at least one way you can look at it, church, and I'm talking to the church now, the funeral is about us, not theirs. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Church, we are to be the salt of the earth, which means that we have to be on the attack. We have to be on the offensive. And we have to go to the fields of our enemy and pour salt on it and say, this crop of drug abuse has got to stop. Amen. It cannot grow here anymore. We have to pour it on our streets, the streets of our enemy, and say, enough is enough. We are taking a stand. We are fighting back, and we're not going to let this keep happening in our community.
Yes.
I'm just one person. And I don't care if I'm the only person. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop this. I'm going to do whatever I can with the time God has left for me to say enough is enough. We don't need any more young people doing this. We have got to put a stop to it.
Yes.
I'm just asking you to join me.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you want to honor this life, this beautiful life, this wonderful, precious life, if you want to honor this life, first and foremost, give your heart to Christ.
That's it.
All right.
That's it.
But once you've done that, decide that you are going to take a stand against this and stop it and not let it happen anymore.
All right.
Will you join me in that fight?
Good.